What's good, peeps? Joe Passarelli here live. It's the Joe Passarelli channel. That's right, it's the Joe Passarelli show. Keep liking, keep subscribing for all the latest news, opinions, thoughts, rants in the world of sports, wrestling, comedy, even personal life. You want it, you got it here live, raw and unfiltered. The Joe Passarelli show here only on YouTube.com. Alright, folks, everybody and their mama at this point has weighed in on the Donald Sterling Clippers situation with the possible exclusion of one Joe Passarelli. So I'm here today to voice my thoughts on the whole entire situation. We're now 5 days in. It is Wednesday, April 30th, 2014, the last day of April. Ironically enough, it's National Honesty Day. So we're going to be honest, talk some candid thoughts on what's going on in Los Angeles with Donald Sterling, his controversial comments, and the Los Angeles Clippers and everything that's going on. So, a few thoughts on the man himself, Donald Sterling, the man whose very controversial thoughts and what he had said to an ex-lover, an ex-girlfriend who was young, half black, half Mexican, essentially scrutinizing her and criticizing her for taking a picture with NBA legend and Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time, Irving Magic Johnson, on her Instagram. We all know the controversial comments. I don't need to go into quotes at this point. At the end of the day, though, this caused a firestorm. I do want to express the fact that I do feel like this is a double-edged sword. It is tough that it came in a situation where he was privately recorded, where this was not said in a public forum, and it's also tough that there's an ongoing legal situation in terms of a lawsuit with the girl and Donald Sterling. So I do feel like this is coming from kind of a biased source, but at the same time, what was said was said. She caught it on camera, and I guess she got her revenge. As the news breaking in the past couple of days, specifically yesterday, everybody on social media really blowing up about it as NBA Commissioner Adam Silver made his first big decision as NBA Commissioner, instituting a lifetime ban to Donald Sterling, giving him the maximum $2.5 million fine for his controversial comments, as well as leaving it up to the NBA owners. If they, I believe, get a 3/4 vote, they can officially vote to force Mr. Sterling to sell the Clippers. Now, we've seen all the reaction, how the NBA has really banded together as a band of brothers, despite the playoffs going on, to support the Clippers and what's going on. And I really commend the NBA, even LeBron, everybody who's worn the shirts inside out and made the statements in the media. I think everybody's been really supportive on what's going on. The Clipper fans specifically, a fan base that I don't think has gotten a lot of credit over the years, showing up in droves last night as the Clippers took Game 5 in a very emotional win for CP3 and company, getting the win now up 3-2 in the series over the Warriors. Now, I picked the Warriors to win the series even before this series started with the Donald Sterling gate. I thought with this breaking, this would even further break the Clippers, but I actually got to give the Clippers a lot of credit. They came out firing on all cylinders last night. DeAndre Jordan looked about as focused as I've ever seen him. I wish Roy Hibbert from the Indiana Pacers could look that serious, but we'll get another video. We'll get a video on the Indiana Pacers coming up another day. I certainly have a lot of thoughts on that situation. But, yeah, it's unbelievable, folks, what's going on with the Los Angeles Clippers. I gotta give Coach Doc Rivers, a man who, in Boston, we know quite well with his tenure with the Boston Celtics, a man with a lot of integrity. Took a lot of heat for how he left Boston, but you know what? He's handled this whole situation with class, like a true professional should, and I give him a lot of credit. That's the unfortunate thing about this whole situation, as it came out right smack dab in the middle of the playoffs, in the middle of a very rigorous playoff series against the Golden State Warriors, and I feel for the Clippers in that regard, even though I feel like, from a team standpoint, they haven't been able to break the glass ceiling of getting out of the first round. It's very unfortunate what's going on. I mean, essentially, I feel like Sterling has a Colonel Sanders type of philosophy when it comes to this. He's sitting there, he wants to date a young 20-something-year-old girl, certainly a product of this new generation, which by all accounts is the more accepting generation. A generation that is not prided on bigotry, on hatred, on ignorance. A generation which is pro-gay, which is pro-race, which is pro-interracial relations, which is, pro-humanity for the most part, this young generation. There's not a lot of ignorance, I feel, which exhibits from the 27 and unders this day and age. So Mr. Sterling wanted to go. Let's not forget, he's still married, by the way, folks. Go sleep with every young girl in Hollywood, and he came in contact with this one girl who wouldn't take his bigotry. Props to her. Now again, I have a little bit of issue in how this broke initially, being leaked to TMZ. TMZ is the news source that initially broke this. I believe they were also the first source that broke the news of the suspension. TMZ, they're just climbing in notoriety, and people want to talk about they're not a legitimate news institution. Well, welcome to the future, folks. TMZ, right there, breaking news with the best. But I'm not here to put over TMZ. I'm here to voice my thoughts on the Sterling situation. And again, I just got to give the Clippers and the National Basketball Association a lot of credit. A lot of people are crediting Adam Silver. I think he's doing what he had to do. I think anything less would have been met with a lot of uproar, a lot of outrage, especially from the African American community. Let's not forget, over 70% of the NBA is made up of African Americans. So, even if it was made up of 1%, this kind of bigotry is not accepted in society. Mr. Sterling, go F yourself. Get out of the NBA. Sell it to an owner who cares about basketball, who is not a racist. Things have come out. I know throughout the years, numerous stories have come out about Donald Sterling and his racist thoughts and his racist practices with his real estate company. I know Jamel Hill of ESPN wrote a piece back in 2009, a real expose. I have not had a chance to look at it and really extract quotes from it, but I know she's a great journalist, and especially when it comes to basketball, and I truly trust her work and journalism when it comes to a situation like that. And I thought it was very candid, an interview that Baron Davis conducted on ESPN Saturday night when this was all breaking and all really starting to catch fire in the media. Baron Davis essentially said that Donald Sterling would discourage him from taking shots, and on days that Mr. Sterling was in attendance to Clipper games, that Baron Davis played with a tremendous amount of anxiety, and that's not something that Baron Davis had on the court with him for the majority of his career, throughout college, throughout the pros, with the Hornets, the Warriors, and the rest of his stops throughout his NBA career. So I feel like anybody who wants some further insight in that, go look up that Baron Davis quote. I know it was aired on ESPN Saturday night when the story was really starting to gain legs, so check that out. It's really interesting, it's really intriguing. I think it provides some insight that we're really not getting from some media sources, but that's my thoughts. Adam Silver, the big announcement, $2.5 million fine, the maximum amount fine, lifetime ban. He can't appear at the facilities at all, at the Staples Center, at practices. He can't be around the team. Justice, as we see it, has been prevailed, and hopefully the owners can get together within the next week or two, have this vote, and put some finality to this situation, so the Clippers and their franchise can begin to move on and build up. So, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing here on the Joe Passarelli Show. Keep tuning in for more thoughts. I will have thoughts on the Indiana Pacers situation coming up at a future date, depending on, I know they're down 3-2 right now in their series, depending on whether they advance or end up losing. If they lose, just wait what I have to say, folks. It's gonna be a good one! Here live, Joe Passarelli Show. Roll the dice, baby. That's how we roll. Keep it real and keep it moving. That's right. And keep tuning in. Thank you very much for your support. Peace.